What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel with me, Mike Zakarian, as we're, just getting caught up on the weekend of Beantown action. If this is your first time here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe, get involved in the chat, like the video, do all those things. We had a weekend. Celtics played not one, but two games against the Orlando Magic down in Disney. Actually, I don't think they were in Disney for both of them. But the first one was a cup game. But let's start with yesterday's. All right, let's lead with kindness. Let's talk about positivity because that's what yesterday's Celtics game was. The Celtics take it down 111-107, and this was just a fascinating game. It really felt like if you watched early on. Also, I'm hoping the audio is picking this up. You can see some beautiful construction happening here in New York at 7:15 in the morning. I love this place. I want to melt down today. There you go. You get to see a little bit of, how the sausage gets made. But if you watched this game yesterday, man, the first quarter, it felt like they were asleep at the wheel, that we were just going to roll over. And then this is kind of the direction the season was going to go in. And not that this was, a make or break game. It's so early in the season. It's November 9th when the game was played, right? No one's winning or losing a season on November 9th. But it did kind of feel like after that loss on Friday, to come out as flat as they did, it made me really nervous. And for somebody who has struggled to both produce when on the floor, but even get on the floor, Anthony Simons was a real pick-me-up in this game. I believe he had 17 points in the second quarter, something like that. Went into halftime with 25 points. I actually don't think he scored again in the second half, but it didn't matter. It was the first half that was the most important thing because, again, Jaylen Brown was still taking his tough mid-range shots that he was making. JB was off to a hot start, but Pritchard's he's not doing it. Derek White got off to a slow start. They were just getting out-hustled, out-rebounded, especially on the offensive glass. It was really, really tough early on. And then Simons comes in like a bat out of hell and is just knocking down shots left and right. He finished this game with 25 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound, going 8 for 13 from the field and 5 for 8 from 3. And he did all of that in 23 minutes. And again, most of it was done in the first half. He did get a rotation or two in the second half, but it didn't amount to the same amount of productivity as it did in the first half, and so they ended up not closing with him. But again, I think that has more to do with the comfort of Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, the comfort that Joe Mazzulla has, right? But Simons, this is what he can do. He can come in and heat up. And even though he's been off to a weird start this year, I think a lot of people had higher hopes for the type of production we were going to get out of him. I mean, myself included, and I wasn't even somebody that was one of the real bull Simons heads out there, right? But in 11 games, he's averaged 15 points, just under 2 rebounds, and just over 1 assist, right? He's still shooting 41% from 3, which we'll take, obviously. But I think we expected a little bit more, right? Somewhere between, 18 and 20, 22 points a game, something like that. At least I did. I thought he was going to be coming off the bench, but I still thought he was going to be playing close to 30 minutes a game. But anyways, all that to say, when the Celtics truly needed him, he came up big in that first half. And then the second half was a little bit of a different story. We had a tie game going into halftime. The Magic win the third quarter by 2 points, and then it was the Celtics who kind of stepped it up in the fourth quarter. JB, as I mentioned, continuing to be to hit those tough mid-range. He did not have the same level of efficiencies he's had in previous games, right? 10 for 24 from the field, only 1 for 4 from 3, but he finished the game with 27 points, 5 boards. He had a dime and a steal in this one as well. Jaylen Brown's averages now are just getting out of control. JB is averaging 28 a game, 28, 5, and 4. Impressive stuff from Brown. Keita in 26 minutes, just 8 and 6, right? Yet Pritchard, who I mentioned, continues to just not shoot the ball well. 1 for 6 from 3, 2 for 8 from the field. He had 5 points, 5 boards, and 5 dimes. He gave him the $5 footlong, $5. Anyways, he gave him the 3x5, 5x3, whatever the hell you want to call it. Pritchard there was a moment, I think it was in the fourth quarter. It was an excellent drive. Ball's zipping around. Kicks out to Pritchard, wide open 3. And last year, he hits this. It's just not falling right now. Let's talk about the bench, though, because we already mentioned Simons, but there were 2 other bench guys who kind of gave us a big push. Luka Garza, man. Luka Garza was playing like he was on something. He was awesome. He was a +9 in his 17 minutes. In his 17 minutes, he had 16 points, 8 boards, 3 dimes, a steal. He was doing a little bit of everything. He had a great and one on a putback, knocked down a three in this. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He didn't. 0 for 1 from three. But 7 for 8 from the field. Like, he was a menace. And then it was big Jordan Walsh in the clutch with the game on the line, down one, I believe, at the time. The ball zips around a little bit, finds Walshy in the corner, steps into it, knocks it down. I mean, Walsh only played, what was it? Well, no, he played 26 minutes, excuse me, but he only had 6 points. 6.6 boards, 4 dimes, and 2 steals. I mean, he was flying. He was flying all over the place. Really impressive shot making there in the clutch where, again, I mean, I'm sure if you had to pick the guy who had the ball in his hands when you need to make a bucket, I mean, how many guys are you listed before you get to Jordan Walsh? But it didn't matter. Walshy knocked it down. That was huge. Let's just look at a couple of the stats before we do some Friday stuff, right? So, Celtics got 41 boards in this game to the 42 of Orlando. That's huge. They really shut down the Celtics actually beat them in offensive rebounding by 1, which was impressive because, again, they were getting beaten up pretty early. Minot, just 16 minutes in this one. Didn't really do too much. Couple boards, an assist, and a steal. And then on the other bench guys, right, we mentioned Hauser got 17 minutes. He's still not like him and Peyton Pritchard. I don't know what's going on with the white guys shooting the ball, but it's not happening between Hauser and Pritchard. And then I mentioned Luka Garza, and then Hugo, he was out there. He was great. 2 steals, 3 points. I mean, like, he only shot the ball one time and made it, but he just does so many different things. But the bench was just like a big lift in this game. Orlando, on the other hand, just to give them some love, Paolo, that Magic team is off to a weird-ass start. Even the comments after the game, they were talking to Paolo about the turnovers because Banchero had 6 turnovers in this game. And they were asking, like, if the faster pace, is that contributing to part of the turnovers? And Paolo just kind of, like, waffled around on it for a second and then eventually was just like, I don't know, that's tough. That's a tough response. He had 6 turnovers in this game. I think he's got, 8, 11, 14, 15 in the last 5. Not great, Bob. But yeah, so Paolo ends up picking up the pace there in the second half, where the first half it looked like he was going to give him a freaking dud. He finished at 28, 6, and 4. Franzi gave him 20. Suggs gave him 28. We kept leaving Jalen Suggs wide open in the corner for 3. He only hit 2 of them, but I mean, he was just getting clean looks. Carter Jr. gave him 12 and 4. But the Celtics, again, did a good job in the second half of clamping up on the boards. That was good to see. So the Celtics get that W, right? Let's go to the game on Friday, which was the Cup game. And this was tough. And my initial reaction was take some more accountability and ownership in this one, because most of the comments coming out of the game, I know Jaylen Brown talked about the officiating a couple nights ago and was right. You know, I think we've talked about this, but JB dropping some F-bombs was expected to get fined, and then the officiating crew or the league officiating was just like, we did such a bad job. We got that call wrong. We're not going to fine Jaylen Brown. And so I was like, all right, dude, shoot your shot, baby. And then Friday, after the game, his comments were clearly were the officials retaliating for him speaking out because he felt like they didn't get a lot of calls in the fourth quarter, and that's fine. You want to say that, that's fine. But you gave up 39 points in the fourth quarter. So, like, did the officials also score for Orlando? Did they allow you not to play defense? Now, maybe you're saying free throws have something to do with it. Sure. But final score in this one was 123-110. Celtics got outscored by 13 in the 13 in the first quarter. Then they battle back so that going into the fourth, they're only down 4, and then they let up 39 points. Like, or a little bit more than 4, excuse me. In this one, let's start with the Orlando stuff, right? Paolo, you kept him, like, in check, 15, 9, and 8. Franz went for 27. Franz absolutely cooked you. Desmond Bane, who's having one of, like, the worst starts of his career, you gave him 22, 6, and 7. Suggs had 14 and 5. Even Anthony Black hit you with 13 off the bench. Let's look at the free throw disparity here. The Celtics get to the line 16 times. The Magic get to the line 31 times. Both missing a handful there. The Celtics shot 35%, 35% from 3, while the Magic shot 47% from 3. So, like, I'm not saying the officiating didn't have anything to do with it, but if you let a team make almost half of their threes, I don't know. Did the refs say, like, hey, shoot these open? I mean, they cooked the 17 for 36 to the 13 for 37 from the Celtics. To give Jalen a little bit more love, even though I was just making fun of him, 32 and 9 in this one. He went 15 for 28. Still, the three ball's just not falling for the guys that normally knock him down. He went 1 for 6. Derek White 16 and 10 in this one, and then Pritchard finally got the ball to fall a little bit. He went 5 for 8 from three, 8 for 16 from the field. He had 27. That was like a nice little bright spot for Pritchard. And then on the bench, we didn't get too much. Like Simons only played 18 minutes. He played 2 minutes in the first half, which I think brings up like a pretty good point here as we let me finish this and then we'll talk about it. Sorry. The Celtics corralled 44 boards in this one, and again tied it up with Orlando, who had 44 as well. And in the same, this is kind of weird. The Celtics also got one more offensive board than the Magic, just like on Sunday night. Weird. But one of the things I wanted to talk about as we see the Celtics split the series there this weekend. Celtics are now 5-6, so one game under 500 as we enter, or as we're now in our second 10. We're just going to take it 10 games at a time. That's how we're going to do it. But talking about the bench mob, right? You saw like Luka Garza had a great game last night. Simons, who goes nuts. You had Luka Garza. Oh no, I already said Luka. Jordan Walsh hit like the tough shot. Ugo's been like really finding some more minutes and some more rhythm out there, right? But one of the questions I have is, like, when you look at the disparity between Friday's game and Sunday's game, and every game is different. I'm not saying I should be coaching the basketball team, but I feel like we've listened to so many like interviews and podcasts and read so many articles. We know so much about these guys now that like consistency and routine and like understanding of expectation is so important, right? And you talk about how like the fact that they take a nap at the same time, they eat the same thing, whatever, but that goes into basketball too, right? Where you know that you're like, hey, I'm not starting, but I come in at this minute mark usually. I play for this amount of time. And like, even if I turn the ball over, I know that's probably going to be the same thing the next game, right? Just a creature of habit. I think a lot of us are like that in general. And I don't think any of these guys have that right now. I mean, outside of Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Peyton Pritchard. And I'll throw Nemise in there, too, because he's basically playing somewhere between 26 and 30 minutes a game every night. But outside of that, it's a lot of guys fighting for minutes. Like, Hauser's probably got his minutes secure, even though he can't shoot right now. But, like, Minot will start one game, get a DNP the next game. He will start one game, only play 15 minutes. Simon's not playing until only, like, a 2-minute rotation in the first half on Friday. And then all of a sudden on Saturday, filling it up for 20. I mean, on Sunday, filling it up for 25. Like, I just wonder what that does to them mentally. Now, maybe Missoula is like playing chess while I'm playing checkers. And his thought process is like, I don't care what you need, what your routines are. I need you to stay ready for any given moment. It could be your time. And, like, maybe that's what he's saying. And for last night, it was Jordan Walsh who played 20-plus minutes, right? Because if we look at the bench on Friday, it was Walsh only played 19 minutes. Gonzalez played 9 minutes. And then, like, Luke only played 13. So, like, I don't know, but I wonder if in the back of their heads, they're almost playing scared a little bit, where it's like, wow, if I make a mistake, I'm done. Like, I'm just not going to come back in. And maybe that's how it should be. I'm curious what other people's thoughts are. And I don't even 100% know how I feel about it, because, like, clearly last night it worked. And this is such a unique situation. This team is, because it's not like one guy playing for it's not 3 guys playing for like the 8th or 9th man minutes, right? It is basically 5 through 10. Like, I'm going to include Minot. I guess, I don't know if we include Hauser or not, but let's include Minot, Garza, Simons, Walsh, Ugo, like Boucher, something like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys are playing for a lot of different roles and minutes here. And I just wonder, like, what that does to their psyche while they're both on the court and off the court. So just something to monitor as we get, like, further into the season. And again, I don't really know how I feel about it, but that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. Something to monitor. So Celtics get 2 W's this weekend, right? They move to 5-6, floating around that 500 range here. Just to like quick let you know where we're at in the Eastern Conference here. Pistons have now won 6 in a row. They had a crazy game against Philly last night. Also, if you guys aren't paying attention to Detroit, man, Cade Cunningham won't do anything for the first 2 quarters, and then like halfway through the third, he turns into Michael Jordan, and he's been incredible. He had like back-to-back games where he scored 19 in the fourth. He scored 17 in the third yesterday, Weird stuff. Cavs have won 4 in a row, and the Knicks have both won 4 in a row. Cavs are 7-3. Knicks are 6-3. Bulls. Oh my God, one of the craziest crossovers I've ever seen. Friday night. I think it was Cavs Bulls or Saturday. Excuse me. DeAndre Hunter crossed up Josh Giddey so bad that it looked like a video game, and Josh Giddey got hit with a sniper. He was just kind of like gone. So bad he twisted his ankle, didn't come back into the game, or he came back in and then left again. Whatever. Bulls are 6-3. Heat now are 6-4. They've won a couple in a row. You've got the Milwaukee Bucks are 6-4, and then it's Sixers 6-4. So the East, Philly's been a little bit better than we thought, although they've slowed down a little bit. Even the Raptors have putting their stuff together a little bit. They're 500. They're 5-5. Although weird highlight over the weekend, Brandon Ingram on the bench pouting, throws a water bottle that hits the ground, pops up, hits one of the training staff, I think, in the face. There was a mess everywhere. Just kind of bad sport. But then it's Hawks 5-5, who are injury riddled right now, and then the Celtics 5-6. They're just a half game ahead of the Magic after splitting this weekend, and then Hornets, Nets, Pacers, Wizards. So, I mean, they're still in the 10 seed. The vibes feel good in Boston. It doesn't sound like, when you think about the Celtics being 5-6, you were like, this is going to be pretty bad, right? But the vibes don't seem so bad. It seems like the expectations are a little bit realistic. I want to give Jaylen Brown a little bit more love, too. I feel like all of his comments post-game have been he's showing pretty good leadership, I think. Where he's both saying that we're getting better every day. It's these guys are getting opportunities that maybe have not gotten opportunities in the league before and are showing that they belong out here. But at the same time, we wear a Boston Celtics jersey and the expectation has to be better than this. So I like what I'm hearing, and I do think there's no way Pritchard and White continue to shoot like this. I think they are proven to be better shooters than that. But at 5-6 now, and we look at the next 9, right, to get us to 20, they play on Peacock on Tuesday at Philadelphia. Again, the third time they play Philadelphia. And then you got Memphis, who, a little bit of a dumpster fire with Memphis, but Ja Morant and the Grizzlies playing a little bit better since all of that little drama from last week. You've got the Clippers, who are kind of in free fall right now. I think Kawhi is missing. I think Kawhi might be back for this game, but we're not sure yet. Not sure, because he's missing 3 games in a row. I can't remember if this is the 3rd game or not. He's got a sprained ankle. But then it's 2 games against Brooklyn. All right? 2 games against Brooklyn. Then we get Orlando, Detroit, Minnesota. All right? So we need just back to 500, baby. Let's flirt around 500. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into some of your comments from last week's video on Friday. And again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Please do me a favor, if you can, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Creeping up to 3K, baby. We are creeping up to 3K. Let's get to some of your comments here. Fergus Hart, we just did this, so this has worked out well. He said, I like your concept of judging by 10 games. We'll see where we're at after 20, see if we can make up some ground. Yeah. Jay Cameron said, I'm not worried about the Celtics. White and Pritchard are going to start shooting. And then Chris says, do you think that Brad might make some moves if the team does well enough? I think this is a fun team to watch so far this season. I don't think we're going to be making moves. If they are, I feel like it is going to be salary saving, to get under the tax and stuff like that. So I don't think we're going to be making moves to make the team better. I don't think. Again, it's really, I don't know. I think it would be fool's gold a little bit to be like, oh, let's sacrifice a little bit or sacrifice some of our future or move off an asset to go from the 10 seed to the 8 seed, But I do think, again, let's get to Christmas, see where we're at Christmas, and then kind of decide what the future of the season's going to look like. I think that's kind of where I land on that. And now I'm going to go land myself with a cup of coffee. Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Hit the subscribe on the way out. We'll be back here tomorrow with some more Celtics Daily action. Thanks for watching.